while we're on the topic of elimination of these exposures, there's really two ways we can do that. Or maybe you have a group option or an employer option, that would be a third way. But for this presentation, we're going to go over the two different options available to you, and that's Medicare Supplements and Medicare Advantage. I'm sure you're seeing that on the TV. I'm sure you're being inundated with that in your mailbox, whatever. We're going to go over the ins and outs in both and really find out which one is best for you. So we're going to start here by comparing the two of them. And when we compare the two of them, a lot of people call it the two roads, the two paths you can go down. So we're really going to look at these things side by side throughout the presentation and really do a deep dive on each of them. So as we look over here on the left side, and this is really, you got your Medicare cheat sheet that I sent you in your email, okay? This is really the time where we can really utilize that Medicare cheat sheet. And if you don't have the Medicare cheat sheet, no big deal. And this is where I would take a piece of paper, guys, and I would pull out a piece of paper and I would say, if you don't have your Medicare cheat sheet, just take a piece of paper and let's draw a line down the middle of it, okay? And you can literally, as you're doing, this is great though, if you get informal with them, you pull out a piece of paper and you draw a line down the middle of it, they feel like they're one with you, okay? So I pull out my piece of paper, I draw a line down the middle of it, getting back in here, okay? So what I urge you to do is just get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle of it, and write Original Medicare or Medicare Supplement on one side and Medicare Advantage on the other side. And that's really what we're going to start doing, is comparing these suckers. So starting on the left side here, Original Medicare. Remember, we got A and B. That's your primary coverage. And then we can add a Medicare Supplement or a Part D prescription plan, okay? If we go Medicare Advantage over here, also known as Part C, it has to combine the same basic principles of Parts A and B in that same coverage. Now, the difference is, it's going to be a privatized coverage offered by a private insurance company. And they have to follow the guidelines of Medicare Part A and B, but the coverage after that, called their outline of coverage, is really specific to the company and your zip code. And we're really going to need a couple more factors to look at that. Oftentimes, the Part D drug coverage is included there. So as we compare the two here, let's start with Medicare Supplement. And I really want to go through a little more detail of the Medicare Supplement here. Now, Part B premium, no matter what, and this is a spoiler alert, no matter what, we're going to pay $185 whether we go with a supplement or an Advantage plan. So on both sides of your paper, I want you to write $185. We cannot get away from that little bugger. Drives everybody nuts on our team when I say that in the webinar, little bugger. So $185 on each side. Now, coverage with the Medicare Supplement, we often look at this as the most robust coverage option. Okay, it's going to leave you with little to no out-of-pocket exposure as long as it's Medicare approved. Your networks, you're going to be able to see anybody in the United States that takes Medicare. Okay, there's no networks, no restrictions, and no referrals needed. Part D plans, now with this plan, we need to choose a separate Part D plan. Medicare Advantage, on the other hand, okay? Medicare Advantage, again, that $185. Let me go back here real quick. And I'm going to let them know right here that there's going to be an additional premium for the Medicare Supplement. And right there, I usually say a random number, depends on the day, but I always let them know there's an additional premium there. So Medicare Advantage, there's going to be a Part B premium, same thing, $185, we can't get away from that thing. And then an Advantage plan, and there can be a premium there. And it depends on the plan, but it's going to be a reduced premium from your Medicare Supplement premium. Right there, I'm embedding ancillary a little bit, right? Coverage, you're going to have higher out-of-pocket costs with this plan. And what I think of this plan as is, a lot of us are coming off group coverage. We have out-of-pockets, we have deductibles, we have co-insurance. You're going to have those same types of things with this plan, okay? There's going to be a network. There's going to be preferred doctors, hospitals that you need to go to in order to receive the best coverage and price. Part D, that's typically included with these Medicare Advantage plans. And then extra benefits, they're going to include oftentimes dental, vision, gym, over-the-counter, those types of benefits. So I'm going to compare the two one more time. So I'm going to get into this and I'm going to say, hey, let's put these things side by side. And if I was in an elevator with you and I had 30 seconds to explain the two, here's my 30-second elevator pitch to you. Is a Medicare Supplement is going to cost more, but it's going to provide more comprehensive, more robust coverage and more freedom of choice. A Medicare Advantage plan is probably going to cost you a little bit less. You're going to take on more exposure, okay? And then you're going to have specific doctors and hospitals you need to choose in order to get the best coverage. Now they also provide these extra benefits, which are great. And I'm not saying any one is better than the other. They're just different. okay? So to summarize it, you pay more, you get a little more coverage. You pay less, you get you take on a little more risk and exposure.